Right, I think we can. Kickstart the show, everybody. So, welcome again for those who's already joined the call. Welcome. My name is Jamie Chamberlain. I'm the new business executive here at Zhero. Welcome to another episode, as I mentioned before, on how Zhero crush the chaos. Today we have a couple of special guests joining the call. And today's webinar is going to be focused around the low-code, no-code application of Zoho Creator and the power behind that application itself. On the call with us today, as I mentioned, we have a couple of special guests. So we have, belonging to Zhero directly, we have Christie, who's our automation specialist. And our extra special guest is Shags Ahmed, who's coming from Zoho itself. So welcome both. Really good to have you on the call today. And thank you for agreeing to taking part. So what I'd like to do to first and foremost is hand over to Shags and Christie for a brief introduction on themselves and their responsibilities and where they lie. So over to you guys.
All right, ladies first.
Thanks, Jags. Very kind. And thanks, Jamie. It's exciting to be here to talk about this topic. As already introduced, I am Christie Fourie. I am an automation expert and consultant at Zhero. And yeah, excited to talk to you a little bit about how we've accomplished incredible custom applications using this powerful tool, Zoho Creator.
Aurel, thank you so much for having me here. I'm Shags Ameed. So I see audiences from different time zones. So good morning and good afternoon. So I handle partnerships for Zoho Creator. It's a low-code platform, and happy to be here. And this is one of my favorite topics, power of custom business applications. So yeah, without taking much time, let's get started.
Fantastic, Shags. Thank you ever so much, guys. And again, it's a pleasure to have you on the call with us today. So I think the first question that I have for myself, I think I'll divert that to Shags. Obviously, you being a specialist in the Zoho area, the platform, Shags. Can you start by telling me a little bit about Zoho, please? What is Zoho Creator and potential capabilities of the platform?
Sure. Before getting into Zoho Creator, I would like to introduce you to Zoho. Maybe I would like to share a slide explaining what Zoho does. Uh, yeah. So Zoho Corporation, founded in 1996. We have around 60 plus business applications, close to 12K plus employees, and presence across 120 plus countries. So recently we achieved a milestone of 100 million plus users, completely bootstrapped and a profitable organization. We build applications for businesses which can run end to end. And speaking more about our products, when I say we have 60 plus business applications, it caters to various verticals, giving an experience for customers, giving an experience for employees, and digital transformation. And across verticals, I would say, we have offerings in sales, marketing and services, our flagship product being Zoho CRM, Begin, Zoho Bookings. We have applications for operating systems. We have applications for finance. We have Zoho Books, Zoho Inventory. We have collaboration suite of applications. We call it as Workplace, Zoho Mail, and we do have other applications for human resource. And for today's topic, we would majorly cover on our developer suite of applications, which is Zoho Creator. What is Zoho Creator, and why are we here? So it's a scalable and secure platform with end-to-end low-code development tools. It can cater to all verticals and all persons, from citizen developers to professional developers. With Creator, you could build custom applications. You can extend it to any custom applications, from Zoho application to external third party applications. Also, you can integrate all your built applications, exchange to and fro data with external applications. uh, I would like to quickly walk you through Creator being a one-stop shop for application building. Creator has its own design, the UI and UX. We have our own security features. Like I said about integration, We have 600 plus ready to use integrations where you can connect with external applications. It completely runs on REST API keys. Uh, it can be deployed in public as well as private cloud. Can be hosted in multiple device environments. Can be hosted in mobile. It can be in iOS, Android. Uh, have languages from Deluge, Java, JavaScript, and our own business intelligence platform. We have analytics where you could build intelligent reports. Uh, Artificial intelligence is also available with Creator. So I don't want to go quick or deeper into Creator. I'll just step back. Maybe we'll have more conversations and then maybe get into presentations and slides.
Perfect. Thank you ever so much, Shags. It's a very comprehensive overview of Zoho and its capabilities. And to me, it really does seem like a tool that's fitted, like you mentioned, to a lot of sectors out there, to the majority, in fact. But could you tell me a little bit about Creator's vision for the future?
Of course. So we do have a vision and we run behind it. Our vision is to empower everyone to easily build powerful solutions. When I say everyone who are there, like I said earlier, we want to cover citizen developers who are new to building applications or codings. So this platform helps them to build applications. At the same time, IT developers or pro developers could also build applications with Creator. So we try to empower everyone. And then at ease, when I say at ease, the Creator UI and UX, the features like drag and drop. So you're going to build an application, you have pre-built templates where you could install and start building applications, or we have the drag and drop features where all the fields are pre-populated. You drag, you drop, and you're going to build application. So when I say at ease, all you need to do is have some basic logic. With your logic, you're going to build applications. So I covered everyone has to build an application. I say easily, but is it going to be powerful when everyone is going to build an application, or is it going to be powerful when it's going to be easy? Of course, yes. So like you saw in the slides, the Creator application will take care of the design from UI and UX, from security, from deployment. We take care of the deployment and integrations. So we have inbuilt integrations, which helps you to easily integrate with external and third party applications. So our vision is to empower everyone to easily build powerful solutions.
Fantastic. And I think we're testimony itself, to be honest, there, Shags, because our entire service desk solution is built on Zoho Creator. So I'm testimony to its power itself. But you mentioned in that previous answer the power of dragging and dropping low code, no code. But what are the benefits of using a low code application versus traditional software development languages such as Python, Laravel, and JavaScript, for example?
Uh, Wonderful question. So there are a lot of benefits using a low-code application over a traditional software development. Uh, First and foremost, I would say would be the faster development. There is a reduced time while building applications using a low-code rather building applications from scratch. So when there is a faster development, or when there is a reduced time, it's going to be cost effective as well, comparing to the applications in the market where you're going to hire developers, sit and make them code for multiple hours, rather having pre-built templates using low code. It's cost effective. That's one of the key features of using low code application. And moreover, it's flexible and adaptable. So from the UI and UX, from using the application, from the use of customization, I want to be flexible, and I want my apps to be flexible, adapting to the future needs. So that is the biggest benefit of being a low code application. Integration friendly, we spoke a lot about it. It can be easily integrated rather worrying about whether your application would integrate with third party applications. Do we need to have all the external application in house? You need not worry about it when you have a low code. You can easily integrate with external applications. Maintenance and enhanced maintenance, that would be one key feature as well.
Fantastic. That's absolutely superb. And Shags, what are the scalability options for applications developed using low-code platforms? And how could
Yes.
an organization ensure scalability as their needs evolve as a business? Because we've all seen lately where an organization in its current form today may not be the same tomorrow. So how would that application evolve alongside of the organization?
Yes, scalability is one of the hottest topic in the market. Scalability is a crucial consideration for applications developed using low-code platforms, especially as organizations grow, their needs evolve. People look at applications for the current problems, but they don't look at applications for their future problems. So with low code applications, we have multiple scaling features. One is vertical scaling. When I say vertical scaling, you would be completely adding more applications from one department to another. For example, recently we had a customer who had started building an application for his finance department, but later he started expanding to other departments, from finance to human resource, from human resource to HR, because you can't control data with just one department. It needs to be integrated. So with low code, you can vertically scale, adding more applications to multiple departments. And when you scale
Mm,
vertically, you're gonna scale horizontally as well. So meaning
mm,
low code platform supports organization adding more resources. So when you add more resources, when you add more applications, you of course gonna add more resources. So you're gonna scale horizontally as well. So what happens when you add more applications, and what happens when you add more resources? The databases is gonna be huge. So you're gonna scale. Database scaling is also possible with low code. As data volumes grow, organization may need to scale their databases to handle increased storage and processing requirements. So low code platforms support highly scalable options from their applications, from the people, from the databases. And while we use a traditional software, you put all the applications under one roof. So we usually say that it meets the current problems, but it don't meet the future problems. So customer can't implement their unique ideas. So highly scalable would be a low code application platform.
mm.
Fantastic. And
I'd like
Christy, anything to
to
add on to that? Yeah, I was just going to
Yeah,
say.
Jamie, I was just, yeah, I really kind of, I loved what Shag said then. I often feel like Creator is the glue that brings together a lot of custom functionality that out of the box softwares cannot accomplish. So usually what I see is, an organization has a very niche or specific need that exceeds the capabilities of anything that they're able to get on the market. And they come to Zoho Creator because they get all the full capabilities of a suite of application, but then they also get that high level of customization possible with Zoho Creator. And because it has all of the APIs available to it, it can also be integrated almost like an extension, if you will, to any existing software that you have on premise. I think that's really a really nice aspect of it, to think about it as a glue or even an extender to something that you currently are using.
Absolutely.
Superb. It's a very good mindset, actually, Christy, how you put that, and in bringing all of the areas which may seem jumbled up in a sense or may seem
Mm,
disjointed, and you're bringing that together in one
yep.
sole platform, which is, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. Um,
Mm,
I mean, next question's one for you both, really. But from both your experiences dealing with custom business applications, how can a business prepare appropriately in order to best ensure the success of the application once it's been launched? Is there any steps that you would potentially recommend for a client to take before starting that journey?
Absolutely. So one of the critical measures we look at is how businesses gonna prepare for a change or gonna prepare for an appropriate success. In my experience, we always ask the customers to have a clear objectives and a clear requirement. Most of the customers, they don't have a clear objective to their problems, or they don't have a clear requirement to their problems. So when we step in, we ask them to have, or we ask them to define. And when we start having the conversation with them, we understand that each problem ties to different departments, different verticals,
Mm.
different applications. So our first role would be to have a clear objective and requirements. We also ask customers to involve different key stakeholders from various departments, because when we start building an application, it caters to multiple solutions, it caters to multiple problems, multiple verticals. We ask them in hand to have multiple key stakeholders during this transition. uh, one common problem would be allocating sufficient resources, since it's a low code where you're gonna have a business that's completely running with these applications. Allocating proper resources and sufficient resources would be a key for a business for appropriate success. And when you allocate sufficient resources, you need to also look at the right development team. Today, a lot of projects struggle,
Mm.
a lot of projects get into stuck or doesn't meet the needs due to a lack of proper development team being set. And that's where me
Mm.
being a partner manager recommend partners who has expertise, honestly, not just with
Mm.
Zoho but with multiple other applications in the market. So one key criteria would be setting the right development team, and also plan for integration and interoperability. When I say integrations, consider how a bespoke application will integrate with existing systems. Consider how it's going to be integrating with your existing databases. You're going to have lots of third party services within the
Mhm.
organization. So we need to test rigorously on how it's gonna intercommunicate, or how it's gonna pull data, push data from existing databases. That we need to
Mhm.
have a clear picture, and that we suggest to businesses. And providing proper training and support, having a plan, having an iterative improvement, because you build an application, it just doesn't stop there. You need to completely work on that application, expand the application. So that's where we suggest a partner who is expertise in multiple Zoho applications, multiple external applications, so that they be with you, train you whenever needed, give you proper support, and ensure that you use this low code applications extensively. When we start seeing the stats of customers, most of the customers don't use the application to the fullest, because they don't get the application, they don't know what this application can deliver. So we look for a proper training and support. That would be the key aspects for businesses to have appropriate success.
Mm.
Fantastic, thank you, Shags. Christy, from our side, I mean, Shags mentioned the importance of having one of the partners there for that kind of support and,
Mm.
and discovery call. From our perspective, is there anything that you personally experience?
Yeah, I think with when you talk about change, you need to be fully aware of sort of a methodology around change. So I like to refer to something called ADKAR when talking about change, which is a basically a five outcomes where that an individual needs to achieve change to its fullest. And the first step is awareness. And then creating a desire, providing knowledge, and then giving somebody the ability, and then reinforcement. So, ADCAR is essentially something that I would really kind of enforce as a partner to the full process from start to end. And that means, meeting with a client initially to talk about the scale and the size, fully scoping out the needs, not only for the first phase, but also looking at where does the business want to be in 5 to 10 years. Because I think having a sense, an awareness of the full size of something means that you're building for scale in mind. As Shags already mentioned, either vertical or horizontal scaling. If you're building a house, the architect needs to come in first to say, okay, how many stories are we building for? Is there going to be a kitchen? Is there going to be a main bedroom with an ensuite? You wouldn't go about building a 3-story house by yourself without bringing an architect. So don't do that when you're thinking about building out a custom application or a software environment for your business. You need to think about where you're heading to and build with the end in mind. That way, when you bring in a partner, we will take the bigger picture in mind, do a needs analysis, build a solution and an architecture that can actually support that scale, and then break it down into phases or chunks. Just to pick up on what Shags was saying, like, creating that desire in the team, and giving them the knowledge of the capability of this tool is really, really important. So creating buy-in with the existing team members, that's not only from the decision makers, CEOs and heads of departments, but also the actual users that are going to be involved in capturing the information, maintaining it, actually going through the business process themselves. If you create that desire in them to actually want to use this application, to see, oh, I'm going to be able to save time on this, or oh, I'm not going to have to do 17 clicks for that one task. It's just going to take me one click in future. You actually create that excitement in your staff and in the team to be able to sort of have a little bit of sugar to take with the medicine, because change is uncomfortable for everybody. But if they can see that there's going to be a direct benefit to themselves, they're going to be better um, positioned to actually onboard that and to adopt it. The next 2 steps of the ADCAR process is ability and reinforcement. So that's really touching on, what Shags was mentioning regarding support and training. So ability is having thorough training. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Oftentimes, clients want to save money, or they want to just, let people figure it out for themselves. But training is absolutely crucial in the final steps of implementation. And then reinforcement. Don't allow people to use the legacy software for more than a month or 2 months after you've gone live with the new software. Create a deadline and then reinforce it. Have lots of meetings around how the onboarding is going. Have a proper partner that's partnered with you to provide on-site support, in the first couple days, or even just remote support. But just make sure that you have somebody that can be there for your team during the time that they're actually taking on their software, and figuring it out, because it is quite a big uptake in the initial steps, and a partner can really ensure that you have the right kind of support in order to be successful and to fully onboard your custom solution.
Fantastic. Thank you,
Mm.
Christie. From what you've both said, it sounds like change management is a very important step to ensure that the end users adopt the application internally. Would you agree there?
Yes. So, how many of them are open for a change in business applications? Honestly, I'm not. Most organizations are not open for a change, and we even did a study on this. Why are people not open for a change? The major reasons would be addressing resistance. Change often brings resistance from employees who may be used to existing workflow or systems. For example, me, every day I log into
I'm
my
guilty,
work.
Shags. I'm guilty. So
Every day I log into my work. I have some set of applications. I know what to do. I just go, I just do my work, I log off. So I feel comfortable with what I have with me. So the biggest problem is the resistance. People are not open for a change. But what can management do to overcome this? Setting up expectations to the employee that this change management is going to be really effective in regards to the purpose of usage, the benefits, how many hours we gonna save by trashing out the legacy softwares and coming up with new low code applications. Personally, in my career, before getting into low code, I had not been built a lot of applications. I struggle. Personally, I'm a citizen developer, honestly, yeah. But once I got into this business applications, I am not dependent on my IT at all. Whenever there is a need, let's say I want to collect data, so my role is to manage around 200 plus partners. I need to collect some data from them. I don't need to be dependent on external teams. I just go step into Creator, build an application, build a small form, drag and drop, publish it, send it to all my partners, and collect informations. So setting the expectations to the employees that this is gonna save so and so time, this is gonna make you powerful. We're gonna train you and support you in this complete change management. And often organizations need to be open for feedbacks and iterations from the employees as well. They
Mm,
need to collect feedbacks
very
on whether
important.
the new change would really affect their business processes, and complete monitoring and adjustment. So often organizations has to identify areas of improvements, make adjustments as needed. That would help them to go through this change management.
Brilliant. So you do really need a buy-in from the end users, stakeholders, and everybody across the organization to really make this effective. So,
Um,
Christie, is there anything you could add on to that in terms of what you've witnessed from a change management perspective? Or I think Shags has covered it quite
yeah.
comprehensively.
He did, but I think maybe just stand still on the word buy-in. I think oftentimes, everybody wants to do things faster, or, the CEO or senior management have got an objective for the business. But if you don't have, the actual users collaborating and building out on the architecture with the solutions architect, or with, a partner team, it means that they get completely bypassed in actually accomplishing the end goal that the organization has. And I'd really advise not to do that. I think that that can often trip up the success of a potential software solution, whether you go with a custom one or even an out the box one, is to actually get your key users involved in validating what the needs are for the particular software, and helping the solution architect to ensure that that is present in the custom application. So I think buy-in, don't miss out key users in the process of making a decision, or even designing a custom solution.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, guys. Christie, question for you specifically. In terms of
Mm.
Zero itself, obviously, as being a Zoho partner, what would be the role of Zero with the consultation piece, implementation, etc.? How would that customer start that journey with Zero?
So, firstly, we would always have a intro discussion to just understand the high level objectives of the business, and from there, we would then advise whether you would need a more comprehensive solutions architecture session, in which we would meet with the key users of the organization and discuss what is the three-story house look like, what are the objectives of the business, and then we would go ahead and provide a recommendation in terms of which applications we would use. Are we just going to focus on a custom app, or is it a blend of applications? Perhaps you would like to use 3 or 4 Zoho applications. Perhaps you've got your own third party applications that are critical to the business process that need to be included. And we take all of that into consideration, because, really a big part of the reason why you want to go custom is because of integratability. And it's important, as Shags also mentioned, that we understand what are the data flows that we want to support between third-party applications and Creator. And, we just allow that to sort of unfold in a clear design and scoping session. So we actually consult on what the best route would be. And then, of course, you've got your implementation aspect of it. And here it is a fully project managed process where, Zero will be project management, managing a team of developers that will actually execute on whatever the development objectives are for this particular phase. So we won't have everything, we're not going to build the three-story house all in 2 weeks. We're going to go story by story, because we need to ensure that the first foundation is really stable. And, building that out is usually going to take, quite a considerable amount of architecture testing, ensuring that what we have developed has been user tested, quality assured, and then released to the end users, get them trained up and familiar with the environment, and only then do we roll out further phases. I know a lot of people like to think, okay, I want a silver bullet for all of the pain in my business. And, we have plenty of high expectations in that regard. And I just want to say that we're quite conservative about that, to kind of slow you down a little bit as a business. A really good business system is going to take time to mature and time to grow. It grows with the users, it grows with the technical capabilities of the people that are in your business. And as we build out on those phases, you can imagine it's more like a roadmap rather than a destination. You're on a journey, and choosing the right application environment ensures that you can add when you are ready to. And as a partner, we can advise you on what best practice is, so that you don't come in as a citizen developer and you're like, I want the bells and the whistles. I want, a 17-bedroom mansion and I want it tomorrow. You come to a partner to help sort of manage expectations a little bit and ensure that the business sensibly approaches a technology migration, that you've taken all of the risks into account, that you've cleaned up your data, and that you can ensure that it's a steady and consistent move towards the end goal. Because oftentimes, if you don't have that, the whole project is a crash and burn within 3 to 6 months. And then you would have wasted a lot of time and energy trying that migration by yourself, and then failing because you didn't have all the information at hand and you didn't have somebody to advise you on the best way to go about it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Christie. And you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say it sounds very much like a journey rather than reaching an endpoint destination where it's
Yeah.
constantly evolving depending on your business needs. And I think as
Yes.
organizations continue to become more agile as time progresses, this is becoming even more important, is how
Correct.
agile a low code, no code platform like Zoho can be. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, Christy, if you could just outline for the audience, kind of our experience with Zoho Creator itself, just around
Mm.
what we do on a daily basis, the certifications and the partnership that we hold with Shags and team.
Yeah, so we are a Zoho Creator partner, and we have those in-house development capabilities. So we have a team of developers that have, 3 to 4 years experience, advanced experience working on Zoho Creator as a development platform. And because of that, we are able to go into an intense amount of functionality on a wide variety of different applications, both within the Zoho marketplace and outside of it. So, oftentimes, as I've mentioned quite a few times, clients will come to us with their existing softwares. They're using a Microsoft suite, for example, and they need to integrate it. They want folders to be created from within their custom application in a certain structure, for example. We've done so many different integrations into Zoho Creator that gives us the capabilities and the insight to know what is possible, and also the framework to actually push the boundaries on what has been done historically. So, with that kind of experience, I think we're in the best position to really imagine the future of the business that we're dealing with. Oftentimes, people actually are not even aware of the capabilities of low code and the capabilities of software today. So, part of our team's responsibility is actually to educate and to create an awareness of what you can accomplish with low code and automation. Simple things that, I know everybody's on the buzzword about AI, and I think AI is very powerful, but there are some very basic low lying fruits that you can accomplish just by implementing a very simple business workflow. And, I think that people are so afraid of all of the technology out there that they're not even, using a simple application to manage their day-to-day business. They have no way of creating tasks. They have no way of receiving notifications. They have no way of knowing if something hasn't been attended to within a certain time frame. They have no way of knowing, whether a process is being followed from A to Z. And these are processes that have been existing in the business for 6 to 8 years, even longer sometimes. People are still reliant on Excel spreadsheets to manage their processes, or using emails as a way to manage the operations of the business. So we come in as an expert advisor to say, take those processes, those old legacy processes, and let's start building the basics of the business process onto a system. It's then fully audited. It's taking away from the email and Excel as the central point for your operations, and it's putting it onto a system to govern it, to create blueprints around it, and to ultimately hold people accountable for their work on a day-to-day basis. So really, I don't know if that was the answer to the question of what our capabilities are and
Yeah,
what we do.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Cool.
no, definitely beyond the expectations. I think you've covered a lot there, Christy, in terms of the
Mm,
like you mentioned, the buy-in aspect. I think a lot of companies out there are afraid of the change, and one of the things that I picked up on from this call in particular is because people's used to that traditional software language, that traditional
mm,
coding, where it takes a lot of investment to go to the next stage of that development, and if something goes wrong,
yeah.
again, it's a cost to revert back. Where with
Yeah.
what I'm picking up from this call today with Zoho Creator, there's an always
Mm-hmm.
easy rollback period to the previous version. There's always an easy way
Mm,
to change that mistake that was made and rectify it moving forward into a better solution. Um,
mm.
Last question from myself, guys, and this is open platform to both of you. But can you give me one reason as to why businesses should bring a no-code application onto their tech stack?
Uh, so it's really hard to give one reason. But one of the reasons I would say would be, uh, we need to empower, or organizations need to empower their non-tech resources. The dependent on IT is really really huge and really really large. For even a small change or for even small needs, people tend to reach out to IT. So if you see, this is also one of the visions of Creator, that we need to empower the non-technical users. We need to have more number of citizen developers, and having citizen developers use this application, moving them to IT and pro code developers. So no code platforms bypass this by providing pre-built components, visual interfaces, allows business to create their needs much faster with limited technical expertise. So one buy-in would be to empower the non-technical resources.
Mm. Love that.
Good point. Shags, really good point there. And over to you, Christy. Any golden points or golden feature as to why they should bring a no-code application into their tech stack?
100% for me, it's customization. Customization all the way. And if I can just drive this point to a close here, because I think sometimes people think, oh, my process is so complicated and advanced that I need to build my own software. And I just want to address that thought in and of itself. Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. Your process needs to be properly unpacked from A to Z to understand which components would be best suited in a custom environment and which components can actually be well supported on a pretty advanced technology that has a lot of logic and business process built in, like, for instance, Zoho CRM. Zoho CRM has years of inbuilt logic and advanced functionality that you're going to struggle to recreate on a custom app. It's not that you can't do it. It's just, I would argue that you maybe you shouldn't, because you might be losing out on all of the secret sauce that's been baked into an application like Zoho CRM. So I think, sorry, Shags. I think there's still space for, standalone applications that have got years of industry expertise that have really been invested into the application. That being said, that's where I feel like customization can really be an extension to softwares that you have in place. It can be the glue that holds together the entire business, where CRM ends and you're needing advanced custom functionality. That's where Creator can start, and fill in the gaps in a existing technology stack. And also, I mean, I've seen instances, for example, Zhero. own customer support desk, it far exceeds the capability of any support desk that I have yet to see. So it is actually a leader in that regard in its use of a kind of a support instance. So where you have a business that has advanced functionality on a certain kind of business process, 100% having the custom ability to build it yourself exactly as you want it is a big plus. So customization for me there is my big takeaway for using Zoho Creator. And yeah, I think if that's the one leading thing that you can take away, that would be it from me.
Brilliant, thank you, Christie. And again, yes, I'm testimony to that system that we use in house, and I think
Mm.
it's definitely the power behind us providing the world class service that we provide to our clients. It definitely enables us
Mm.
to give them what we really do need to provide them on a daily basis. But
Yeah.
as a final question, guys, I mean, Shags, you mentioned you had a couple more slides to potentially go through. I think we've maybe got 5 minutes if you want to revisit those slides very quickly.
Sure. Um,
And whilst we're
uh,
going through the slides, guys, I'd just like to highlight that we will have a Q&A session very briefly at the end of the call. If you'd like to start posting your questions into the comments section, and we'll answer them as soon as we finish these slides here.
Yeah, so we spoke lot about customization. We spoke a lot about creator, but I just want to show some of our winnings in the UK market, since the target audience is more of UK. Some of the brands that trust us from UK would be ITV, ICP, Courier Logistics, Bond Leisure, and all we spoke, all these are proven records. We had done what I spoke all through this time. For example, with Courier Logistics, we had automated their employee operations to quickly have their delivery process. We have built them the custom ERP, and that's why I keep on saying that we have bet on this market, we have bet on this vertical. We had done customizations, we had built visitor management, we have built applications for like a CRM, applications for HR and operations, and we also had saved n number of amount of money for them, and we had scaled their 90% more scale sales for the business. So what we spoke, we have done that in the market, and this is one case study, whereas the other case study would be for Bond Leisure. It's a travel vertical where millions of tourists visit. We had provided them exceptional experiences to their tourists from partner restaurants, caravans, building them 30 plus applications on Creator, helping them with tourist reservation portals, HRMS, customer database management, and they had quickly built lots of app creations and done mini campaigns, and we had saved around more than 100k plus a year. So all this we spoke about, we have done that, and we have chose Zero as one of our partners. Earlier we had a conversation. We understood that you have used this application before reselling it. That's a great point, right? Someone who wants to resell an application, or someone who wants to consult an application, what is their expertise? They should themselves be a customer first. That's one of the key reason we had Zero as our partner. You have experienced our platform, you know the in and out. You being a customer, you can definitely be a consultant too. So that's one of the key reason. And I would like to summarize, in the interest of time. I always look into Gartner Insights. They are betting hugely on the low code market, and 75 percentage of organizations is going to be in the low code application space. All those applications are going to be low
Mhm.
code, which is going to be customizable, and that would be the key point over here. And I would like to summarize my conversation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shags. And I noticed the brands there, obviously, most noticeable for me was ITV. But branching outside of the UK market, I believe you also have MTN in South Africa as one of your
Yes,
clients. Yeah,
yes. So we have a
again,
client
massive
across.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just for those in the audience who's watching, if you have any kind of cautions around Zoho or using them. ITV, MTN in South Africa, I think those brands themselves really do speak for the professionalism and the functionality that you'll find within the Zoho marketplace. But in terms of the webinar, then, guys, I think we've come close to an end. We do have a couple of questions. So we've got a question from Isaac. How do you ensure that Zoho Creator apps comply with data protection regulations like the GDPR and the EU AI Act?
Yes, good question. So we are compliant with the GDPR. We have our data centers locally present in Europe, so that the data is highly secured. It's not stored in external countries. Compliant to all GDPR compliance. We do have certified with GDPRs. Maybe we could share more information via email or how compliant we are. But to answer your question in a nutshell, our data centers are present locally in Europe, ensuring that the data is secure.
Superb, brilliant, Shags. Have you managed to touch on the EU AI Act by any chance? Would that be relevant to the Zoho situation? I think it's very much in its infancy at the moment, the act, but
yes, I need to bet on this before checking with my compliance team. But what we can do is we could have an email alias where I could share more information about the GDPR compliances of our product. I would like to give a complete information rather giving a false information or piece of information.
Course. Definitely. So guys, if you can note down the email address, communications@Zhero, ZHERO.co.uk. If you have any questions around the GDPR and EU AI Act on how Zoho actually manages to stay within those regulations, please fire them questions across, and myself, Shags, and Christie will come back to you in due course. But before we wrap up, guys, because we don't have any more questions in the comment section at the moment, but is there any final words from yourself, Christie, or yourself, Shags?
I think maybe don't wait to reach out if you have a question or you are interested in potentially exploring the idea of a custom solution for one of your business processes. You're also welcome to reach out to me on that communications email address, and I'm happy to set up an intro call with you to just discuss at a high level what you're hoping to accomplish. And I'll quickly tell you, Zoho Creator, or perhaps you need to be thinking about something else. So hit us up on communications@zero.co.uk and set up an intro meeting with myself and our developer, and we'll happily just give you a little bit more information if you're curious or if you're interested, and we'll happily chat to you and give you the next steps of what we would advise.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, like I said, Zhero is our trusted partner in the UK market, and they are certified in Creator as well. So, I would be more happy to put Zhero in front for the customers who is looking for a partner who can assist them, not just consulting, but be with them end to end, from purchasing the license to implementations to post sales and support. I can bet on Zhero for you guys.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
Thank you ever so
Shags.
much, Shags. And thank you for the kind words as well. It really does mean a lot. So, guys, that is the end of the show. Another show on how we explain some of the tools that we use to crush the daily chaos that we come across. As we mentioned, if you'd like to get in touch or have any further questions regarding Zoho Creator or bespoke applications, low code, no code, feel free to get in touch on communications@Zhero.co.uk. Myself and Christie will be in touch, and we'll schedule a meeting with you to go through your needs in finer detail. But as a final word from me, thank you ever so much for everyone who's attended today. Really good to see you again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next webinar.
Cheers.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
guys.
Take care.
Bye.